Hey everybody, I'm Cisco. I got a 2013 Nissan Cube. Love this car. You probably saw my previous video where I did the rear speakers. Again, recommend you start in the rear and then do the fronts. Okay, so the front's pretty easy actually. There's only one screw in here, and then there's a whole bunch of the plastic mounts. So I recommend you start right here around the middle. There's like this little dent in here, and just pull. You don't even need a tool. So you just pull, come all the way around here, keep pulling, keep pulling, keep pulling, keep pulling. Make sure your window's down first. My window's up, but I'll show you why. So the window's down, and then you pull, and then once you get it, you gotta kind of pull here really good. You pull out, because there's another couple pins in here, and then you lift it up. So you lift it up, there's gonna be a connector here. This connector here is a push in. Sorry about the noise. And so you don't break it. Make sure you don't do that. So you just kind of push it in. There's a little screwdriver here, and you're good. So this is the driver's side. This one actually has two cables. I want to give you guys a couple of quick little hints here. Get yourself a little flathead screwdriver. I'm trying to do this with one hand. I already took out the one, so I want to show you this. Basically, it's just got this little thing here. You just kind of zoom in there a little bit. So you just push it down. That's it, okay? Don't yank the hell out of this thing and break it. Just kind of push it, and then you should pretty much just come out. There's a little bitty one here, and this one's a little more stubborn. So get yourself a little screwdriver and just kind of do the same thing, and it pulls out. So I'm going to go ahead and put plenty of Dynamat in here. I'm going to put some Dynamat on the inside of the door, the bottom part, just to help reduce some of the road noise. And oh, I forgot to tell you, so I actually peel this back a little bit. It's really easy to do. You hold it and you get a razor blade, and you kind of just cut along the rubber bitumen sticky stuff, and just kind of peel it back and then tape it out of the way. I don't remove the thing completely. Some guys do. I don't. Some guys reform it and stuff like that. I like to keep this waterproof seal intact, so I leave it in place. I go ahead and put the soft stuff on top of it. Some guys replace the whole thing. That everybody does things differently. Nothing wrong with that. It's actually got pretty good amount of sound isolation. We're going to put some more padding, of course, because I want a nice quiet ride. Also improves the bass. I want to show you this little recess here. So right there is basically where the speaker meets the inside cover. So I went ahead and measured it, and there's only about 1 or 2 millimeters of play between that and the actual speaker mount itself. So I already cheated here. I already took it off. So there's one connector there, and then here's the speaker mount. So you'll see that this one has a metal plate on the bottom. So they did that probably to improve the resonance, so that gives it a little more bass and stiffer sound. So here's the back one. So the back one is the same type of thing, except it doesn't have this metal plate. What that means is you got an extra 3 millimeters to play with. So this here was 33 millimeters, plus 3 is now 36. So you have 36 millimeters of total height before whatever part of the speaker meets the inside of your panel, which is great, because now I can fit my Pioneer TS1702Rs, which are fantastic speakers. Here they are. I don't work for Pioneer, but these things sound great because they got a full two-way crossover built in. So there's not a box you got to stuff around somewhere and worry about the thing rattling. And it has a proper two-way crossover so that the inductor lets the low frequencies pass to the bass and the high frequencies go through the capacitor to the tweeter. So as you raise the volume, they're super clear. It's awesome speaker, and you can get them for a pretty good price. So here's the rings. These rings are like, I think it's 21 millimeters. And this is like a total of like 15 millimeters from here to the top of that tweeter. So it's going to fit just great. Okay, of course you raise your window so you can access all the stuff as far to the back there. So I went ahead and mounted my speaker. As I said, I was lucky enough that because there's the plate on the bottom there, I was able to put my speaker, and I went ahead and dynamatted the underneath, the back all the way around. Or sorry, I keep saying dynamat. It's actually killmat. So I use the knockoff stuff, killmat, a lot less expensive. So I use that. I go around the speaker frame, of course. I also dynamat quite a bit around. Sorry, killmat quite a bit around it, and then I use a lot of this foam. I'm not that fond of this foam. This is that Noico. This is the one that's like it's thicker. It's like, I don't know, 3/8 of an inch or something like that. It doesn't bend very nicely, but you know, I already bought it. I might as well use it. So I used it for a lot of the straight pieces. But when you need it to bend, it doesn't do so well. You can kind of see it sticking up here. This is the, it kind of sticks up. But then the thinner stuff, the stuff that's 1/4 of an inch, it bends real nice. So watch out where you put dynamat and padding. You can see these little notches here. Kind of stay away from that, okay? If you put stuff here, you're running the risk of your panel not fitting straight, okay? You'll notice the cutout I have here. I had to do that because there's this plastic notch that comes out on the door there. There's also one in the lower, but that one's pretty easy to spot because there's a hole in here. As you guys know, this is why I kept the plastic. I'm a big fan of keeping the plastic. So if you put a thin layer of foam almost everywhere where there's plastic, you'll be pretty safe. Of course, I killmatted the inside of the door as well as the outside of the door. I killmatted around the speaker mount. Speaker mounts I got from Crutchfield. And of course, the speakers themselves I found on the internet. Outstanding price, less than $100, but they'll blow just about anything out of the water. Even speakers that cost twice as much. Not kidding. So it's nice and stiff now with all the killmat I put in there. I went ahead and ran the cable through in here to the back of the speaker, and I zip tied it to one of the cables that's in there so they won't rattle around. Again, watch out, you know, don't put too much of this killmat or the foam padding stuff. Now I'm going to show you the panel. So the panel, I ended up having to take it off a couple times because I had too much foam. So don't go foam happy. Sorry about the focus here. Alright, so I ended up having to take off some of this stuff here, put a thin strip, see that? You'll end up discovering less is more. You'll see I got some sections here that have nothing, because if you look down here, it matches to that. See this hump here? And has another hump over here. Watch out for these humps, because they'll throw off your thing and then you'll break clips, which I did, of course. I actually did find these clips at O'Reilly's. There you go. Anyways, not a bad deal. $3. They give you 4 of them. I bought every box I could find, and I used 3 boxes worth. Of course, I replaced 4 doors. You kind of keep an eye on this thing here. You know, this rubbed at the bottom there if you don't finish padding. And the one that was a huge heartache was up here. Initially, I had a big, thick piece of foam up there, and it was too much, because this pretty much needs to lie flat against the door frame. So I had to cut a whole bunch of that stuff off. So keep an eye on that. There's a hump here. I had to take some of the stuff off here. This hump here also. So I'm trying to save you some time so that when you go and do yours, you're not saying, hey man, why is this panel not fitting on? Well, now you know. Just don't go too foam happy. That's about it. Oh, one more little thing. For those pioneers, you can kind of see here, I ended up cutting just a little bit of the plastic away. Officially was not necessary, but I did anyways, just so that the tweeter wouldn't have any bump in it. One other bonus about these speakers, by the way, these are 6 3/4. The bass is awesome. It actually comes out less than the 6 1/2s. So the 6 1/2 brothers of these, the tweeter comes out further. So in reality, the 6 3/4 are a better bet. Okay, it sounds fantastic. Good luck to you guys. When you put the panel back on, what I do is I angle it like this, come down, make sure it gets in that lip there, right here. So it comes down, and then you kind of close it in. And as you close it in, you have to push in the middle part right here. Kind of just push, make sure that grabs, okay? That's actually where you have trouble grabbing. And then as you should be able to push the panels in, all right? You don't need to slam these things. Just kind of, they should pop in nice and easy. If you're having to slam them, then you've got too much padding. You need to take some stuff off.